You wake up tired, you push through the morning, but by 2 p.m., you're crashing. You're reaching for that second cup of coffee, sugar, anything to keep you going. You've tried eating cleaner, you've tried to force yourself to exercise, and nothing changes. But what if the very things you're doing to fix your fatigue is actually making it worse? Today, we're breaking down 3 root causes of fatigue after 40, and the one thing that nobody seems to be talking about, and that's number 3. Hi, I'm Lara, registered holistic nutritionist, and for the last 10 years, I've been helping women over 40 lose weight without dieting. I know a lot of women over 40 are experiencing crushing fatigue, like my client Joanne. She came to me at 62, had fatigue, hot flashes, night sweats, gained 10 pounds, feeling more anxious. A year later, she was taking care of 5 grandchildren. Her neighbor texted her, "My gosh, Joanne, how on earth do you have all that energy and patience? If you could bottle it, I would buy it." Joanne got her energy back by addressing the 3 areas that we're going to talk today on this episode. Okay, first root cause is poor digestion. We don't talk about this enough. If your body cannot break down food, your cells cannot absorb the nutrients, and your body will not be able to produce energy. If this happens to you when you eat a larger meal, within an hour, within 30 minutes, you feel like you're falling asleep and you need a nap. It's a sign that you need digestive support. Your stomach digestion is not doing its work. It's either you're not chewing well enough, that's your first problem, and we need to work on that. But if, let's say, you are chewing well, and you are not able to break down the food still, it means your body is not producing enough digestive enzymes. And if we're not breaking down our food properly, well, guess what? We are not absorbing the nutrients that's found in our food very well. So we can very easily become deficient, especially minerals. As a result, you're not able to produce energy. I'll talk about why that is in the next one. And if you're not breaking things down properly, the food is actually rotting in your stomach and you get acid reflux and you're burping and belching. So the very first thing we need to do is start to chew your food better. Chew, chew, chew until you get to applesauce consistency. Easier said than done. I totally understand, but it's a great place to start. Cause number 2, this is where I start with my clients. One of the very first things we do is they run blood work through their doctor. We look for any missing nutrients or minerals. We run a hair tissue test, and then they do a lifestyle assessment. And we put all 3 together and we understand, are there any deficiencies in their body? And then we start to replenish them with food and supplementation. The body cannot produce energy without minerals. They're like the match that fires energy productions in your cells, mitochondria. Mitochondria are the battery of the cell, and they help the body produce energy. Well, in order to produce energy, ATP, you need minerals, especially magnesium. So let's focus right now on magnesium and potassium. I find they're the 2 that can very easily be integrated into the diet, and you can start to see differences very quickly. We need about 350 milligrams of magnesium and about 4,700 milligrams of potassium per day. An easy thing that you can do is start to log your food and stop watching the macros and start to switch your energy on looking at your micronutrients and look at these 2 targets. Are you getting enough minerals in your diet? And start to add food in your diet in order to increase that. I'll give you some examples of food that you can integrate. Without magnesium, you cannot produce energy. You will feel tired. You will have muscle cramps. You might experience heart palpitations, especially if your potassium levels are low. And you're just feeling exhausted all the time that no amount of sleep will fix. These are signals that you need more potassium as well as magnesium. The 2 really work hand in hand, so it's important to get both of them. So easy foods that have both magnesium and potassium, it's easier to absorb minerals if the food is cooked. Spinach, so 1 cup cooked gives you about 157 milligrams of magnesium and 840 milligrams of potassium. Half an avocado gives you 30 milligrams of magnesium and almost 500 milligrams of potassium. And lentils, about 1 cup will give you a great amount of both magnesium and potassium. 3 easy easy foods that you can start to integrate into your diet. Cause number 3, and this is the one that is usually missed, is dysregulated cortisol. Here's what should happen. Cortisol is supposed to peak in the morning. It's actually the hormone that wakes you up in the morning. So if you wake up without an alarm, you can thank cortisol because your cortisol is spiking and it's waking you up. Now, for some women, cortisol does not rise high enough in the morning. It's below ideal. And that's when you feel tired in the morning. You can sleep 8 hours and still have no energy in the morning. You also have other symptoms when this happens. If you sit up quickly, you might feel dizzy. 2 telltale signs that you don't have enough cortisol, at least not a cortisol rise in the morning. So generally, if cortisol is low in the morning, sometimes it peaks at night. Sometimes it peaks like right before bed. You can't fall asleep. That's cortisol rising when it shouldn't. Or sometimes you can fall asleep, but it peaks at like 3 a.m. and then you can't fall asleep. So these are all signs that you have dysregulated cortisol, and it's something that needs to be addressed. Because I know that if energy is an issue, often stubborn weight gain is another issue. And the two often go hand in hand, because if you have dysregulated cortisol, you likely have dysregulated glucose. You can lead to insulin resistance, and then it makes weight loss really, really hard because your body is always under stress and it's always releasing glucose, because that's what cortisol does. It releases glucose into the bloodstream. And then you have this not so pretty picture of poor energy production as well as weight gain. And then it just goes into this circular thing. It gets worse and worse. And there is a connection here to the other 2 things that I talked about. Poor digestion and not enough minerals makes the cortisol issue even worse. If you're not absorbing magnesium, your nervous system is on overdrive. If your cells don't have enough potassium, your body cannot respond to cortisol properly. And so the 3 really work hand in hand. We need to improve your digestion, we need to improve your mineral balance, and we need to improve your cortisol response. And the 3 really work together. You can't just work with one without supporting the other. You really have to address the whole body and these 3 systems in order to see an overall benefit. So if I were to start with just one thing today, I would start integrating more minerals into my diet, setting targets that I can track, then start to notice how you're feeling. This is exactly what we did with Joanne. My client that I mentioned, 62, got her energy and her life back, and her neighbors sent her a message to bottle her energy. And that's not luck. It's not guesswork. It's identifying what's going on in your body and addressing it. And these 3 systems are a great place to start. Now, if you want to know what your root metabolic issue is, and you want a blueprint for your body, the same blueprint that I provided Joanne, I invite you to get in touch with me, nutritionherway.com/MM for metabolic mastery. All the information on my program is there. And if you have any lingering questions, you can book a free 15-minute call with me through that page.